So Jesus being our awesome example of representing the Father's heart in this world. We see this with him in front of Pontius Pilate when he was on trial, and in Mark 15 and the other Gospels, we read about this, and we see that the way Jesus speaks, Pilate marvels. He's surprised. He doesn't expect the wisdom and the difference. And thinking about Pilate, I mean, he was a Roman governor. He must have heard a lot of cases, a lot of defenses, a lot of people trying to avoid getting crucified or beheaded or put in prison for a long time. They were not exactly nice people, Pilate and the Roman authorities. So he must have heard it all. And yet he was like surprised, taken aback by Jesus again and again, by what he said, and then by his silence also. He was just taken aback. It was something different from what he heard. And this is what he had heard before. And this is something that is really amazing, because when you speak with the Father's heart, you are bringing something fresh into this tired world of ours. And Pastor Zoli spoke about this in one of the lunch devotionals on Thursday, maybe two devotionals ago. And I was just so blessed by the thought, just thinking about this, how Jesus spoke with such wisdom under pressure to Pilate, and how he was not blaming Pilate. This was totally unjust, and he wasn't saying, you are doing the wrong thing, it's your fault, it's going to be your fault, you're going to send me to the cross, and it's going to be your fault. He did not beg for mercy, which would have been sort of, I think, the normal thing. That's what Pilate kind of expected, of course. Jesus wasn't upset, angry, and why? This was due to the peace that he had with the Father. Sure, he was in a high-pressure situation with Pilate and the high priest standing around and accusing him with all kinds of stuff that was just wrong. But he wasn't in a high-pressure situation with his Father, and this was really, really awesome. And he spoke in a way that Pilate just didn't expect. He'd never heard that before. And we see this earlier in John 7, verse 46, I think, when the officers come back and they tell the high priest that no man has ever spoken like this guy, like Jesus. We have never heard anything like this. I mean, he speaks the same language. He doesn't use like unknown words. That's not the point. But he was speaking with the authority and love and kindness and truth and depth of the Father. And that was just so different from anything they had ever heard from the high priest, or anyone for that matter. And this is our amazing heritage, yours and mine, and we can live in that. And just to close here, so Isaiah 32:17 says, "And the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effect of righteousness quietness and assurance forever." So walking in the righteousness of God, walking in what He has given to us, it will result in peace and quietness and assurance. So when you're in that high pressure situation, you can reply with peace, and you can speak from a place of quietness, and you can speak from a place of assurance. And it didn't turn out well for Jesus. He did get crucified, but the way he spoke was something else. It was what Pilate needed to hear, and what the high priest needed to hear. And of course they didn't listen, they didn't care, but it was what they needed to hear, and it is what we need to represent in this world. And when I am thinking with the Father, when I'm walking with Him, when my heart is exercised with Him in obedience in life, then that will protect me from reacting. Because in that situation, in that high pressure situation, you and I, we are. This is the easy trap that we fall into. It's the pitfall of all humanity, I think, just reacting, reacting, in anger, or reacting in submission, or whatever it is, and then later we are like, why did I say that? But learning with the Father and walking in obedience with Him, and then you're there in the situation, and you just say no, or you say yes, you're right, but actually, and you say something deeper, you lead the conversation where they didn't expect it would go. So that's just something to chew over and pray about, and God bless your day.